Hello, beach friends. Today we're going to spend some time together on a beautiful winter day beachcombing on Captiva Island. Now, my original plan was to visit the Allison Hanger-Up lot all the way on the far end of Captiva. Unfortunately, of the two parking meters, one was broken and one was out of paper. So I was left to debate as whether it was worth getting a parking ticket to go shelling here. I did walk down to the beach to take a quick peek, and there really wasn't all that much of anything on the beach or in the water. Now, normally I would say, don't worry, we're going to cover lots of beach and I'm sure we're going to find things, but I really didn't feel like getting a ticket. So I relocated to the other Captiva parking lot at Turner Beach, and this is where we're going to be starting our day. I do not know how, but I managed to find a few things I've never seen before, a few things I was not expecting, and a few fan favorites to round out the day. So if you're ready to do some exploring, let's go to the beach. Okay, I did manage to find parking at two different places. It is rather early, and we're going to start our day over here at Turner Beach on Captiva. Now, it's very close. It's just a pass away from Sanibel. So over there in the distance, you're going to see Sanibel. And this is all new. There was a renourishment project, and all this sand, brand new. This sand was not here before, which yay, because it'll capture more shells. So a little bit more beach. And then here is a lady-in-waiting Venus clamshell. I do happen to like those, rather common. And then look, it's a kitten paw with a little baby kitten paw on it. And we're going to see a whole bunch of kitten paws. If you like kitten paws, oh, this is a good video for you, because there were lots of them. Now, I do find them attached, and unfortunately, I just don't know if they're viable or not. So I do not keep them. If they have both sides, I don't keep them because I just don't know. If I only find one side, let's flip it over, awesome. That I will keep. But those whole ones, until I can figure it out and I know any better, I just err on the side of caution and leave them. And there's tons of them. What else we got? All right, a broken, it's one of those broken rookie shells, one of those banded tulips. Oh, a critter. So that, oh man, pretty shell. So that is a juvenile fighting conch with a very pretty shell. I know it just kind of looks all sandy, but there is a gooey little creature in there. And the tide will be coming in, so he will be fine. And then again, just checking out the kitten paws, see if there's just a half. All right, hold on to the half. Here we have a seraph. And they've got the beaded little lumps on them. They're so pretty. And there's another. And a little lump of coral. So that is thin-fingered coral. Awesome. So right across there, that's blind past Sanibel. And so I'm over here in Captiva. So that is the only thing separating those two islands. And it almost looks like if the tide was low enough, you could just walk over there. All right, a little bit of pile up here. Oh, a painted egg cockle. Very pretty. It is kind of scanning. Looks like the majority of the shells are pretty much the same size on the smaller, a little bit, maybe ½ inch. So I think we've done all that we can do here. And I think we should see what else is waiting for us down the beach. So take another quick look at the shellers, and we are going to walk the opposite direction. Not because I don't like people, I just kind of like to have the beach to myself if I can. So let's see what the beach is gonna have for us to discover today. It's always something to check out. All right, here is a calico scallop, or is that a bay scallop? You know what, I think that might be a bay scallop. Either way, it is lovely. And I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that. Might be one of the bigger shells we find today. Oh, dang, it's broken, but that's a flat. That's always a really great shell to find. So that is a flat. The other side is not flat. The other side is more convex. It is kind of, you have your flat side and then your convex side. And that is a kitten's paw that to me, honestly, looks like a baby lion's paw, but it's not. Wish it was, but it's not. And that is another. So that is the second lady in waiting Venus clam. I wonder if they are delicious because they seem to have the drill holes in them. So somebody drilled a hole and snacked on that, most likely. And this, crazy, this is a giant bittersweet clam. What on earth is it doing over here? I don't know. Apparently it's not impossible to find them, but I find them much more easily on the east coast of Florida. So I was not expecting to see something like that today, but really happy. Awesome. And here is a really large auger. So that is another one of those kind of like real skinny ice cream cone looking shells we have down here. Oh, look at that lovely scallop. Oh, real pretty. It looks like a strawberry. So I'm definitely going to hold on to that. Pretty scallop. Another bittersweet. All right, that is another one of those bittersweet clams. This one's a little broken. That's all right. Yay! I mean, I just wasn't expecting to find that. And here, just a little jewel box, a little rhinoceros horn kind of sticking out. So that is a spiny jewel box. And a chestnut turban. I am not entirely surprised to see that. For whatever reason, I do find a bunch of those over here in Captiva. So we're just kind of moseying down. I'll do a lot more walking once there's not as much matter on the beach and in the water. Let's do a checkup. 67. I mean, it's just perfect. The tide is negative low, but it is coming in. A limpet. All right, so that is a keyhole limpet. It's only supposed to have the one hole, so technically it's broken, but I still think they're pretty awesome, so I'm going to hold on to that. So it's rather scarce here with what is on the beach. More of those kitten paws. Your ponderous arc. Always going to have those. Just about always. So yeah, not all that much here. Let's see if there's anything possibly in the water. That's my favorite place to be. And so yeah, I mean, there is stuff here. Not going to be terribly hard to find it if there's something there. So I'll just keep zigging and zagging. Another great auger. And I do get asked frequently, what is the difference between an auger and a seraph? So there on the left is your auger, and there on your right is your seraph. And so once you have them side by side, they do look a little different. The augers don't have those round buttons. So see the way that that seraph kind of has those round little bumps on it? Whereas the auger, they're different. They're still bumps. Augers will get a little bit taller than the seraphs. So hope that helps a little bit. They both have that general shape, but they are a little bit different. And look, it's just a piece. But I can't even remember the last time I've seen a piece of a Junonia. So that is what that is. That is the holy grail of shells for us shellers, the Junonia. So finding even just a piece is a little bit exciting. And I'm going to save it with all the other little pieces I have found. One day I can glue myself my own Junonia together. And that is a little coquina. They're just so lovely. So that is a little clam, real pretty little shell. See if there's anything else. Again, lots of kitten paws. Oh, a corrugate jewel box. Now, if you notice that side, the underside kind of does resemble that purple color of the spiny jewel box. So that is a corrugate jewel box. And they come in all different kind of like weird shapes and stuff. Yep, that's a keeper. And a lucine. So this is a buttercup lucine. Nice, bright yellow. The sand here in Captiva is so dark. It's so much darker than the other sands of the beaches down here. But that is a buttercup lucine. I don't know why the sand is so dark over here. That is something that I would like to dig into one of these days. And so we'll come back to that another day. Another kitten paw. All right, keep her. Figured while I'm here, might as well grab a couple. Now, they are relatively common. You don't always see them in this, big quantities, but not terribly uncommon and a really fun little shell. They're all different kind of like colors. Sometimes they're just a little bit more weird looking than other times. They're mostly that red. Sometimes you can find them completely white. So, whole bunch of kitten paws today. Anything else? All right, we'll check out this scallop. Oh, real pretty. Gonna hold on to that. As well as this one. Now that doesn't look like a calico. That looks like it might be a rough scallop, but it's just completely white. Maybe an albino? Maybe it's just naturally white? Don't know. But it's pretty, so I'm gonna keep it. Now this, I have no idea what this is. I tried to figure out what kind of shell that is. I thought it was maybe a cartidid, but I can't figure it out. I do not know. So any shell people out there who might know what that shell is, drop me a comment. I would love to know. Oh, that is a calico clam. Very nice. Very, very fancy clam shells we have down here. That's one of them. The Sunray Venus is also a very fancy clam. And this is another calico clam that looks like somebody might have snacked on him. And they do have a natural shine. Those are really, if you find them clean and real colorful, they're really quite beautiful shells. Oh, got a little grabby as I saw something orange. All right, there is a calico scallop. Sure, it was sticking out. Might as well add that to the shell bag. No way. That is another one of those little bittersweets. No, giant bittersweet clam. Very, very cool. Was not expecting to see that. Oh, and this other little lump of coral. Now that in the what? I think that is a kitten paw on that piece of coral. Go figure. All right, well, I think it's time for me to be quiet and let you enjoy some beach time. So I'm pretty happy to be finding stuff in the water. And that is a calico clam. Very, very fancy clam shells we have down here. Not like the ones I would find up in New Jersey. That's a calico clam. Oh, very pretty. And I'm thinking that is a big old calico scallop, but could be a bay. I could go either way on that one. That definitely a calico. Mostly the colors on those are what really kind of distinguishes them. Oh my goodness, very pretty. Another very pretty calico scallop. Not to be confused with the calico clams. And this, I just couldn't really wrap my head around it. So it's a chestnut turban, but it's bright orange. I've never seen one that color. Normally that color is reserved for the juvenile horse conchs. I'm trying to think of what else might be that color, but not a turban. I've never seen one that color. I thought that was so cool. Now I know they come in that color. I've just never seen it before. I was really, really tickled with that. I thought that was a great find. And this little piece, that is a piece of a lion's paw, and I really wish the rest of the shell was attached to it, but it's just like two of those knuckles of that lion's paw. You can find them over here. It's tough. And I think on Captiva, actually, I did find a lion's paw. But that is just a piece, kind of like my Junonia, just a piece. Oh, and a very lovely spiny jewel box. It's not quite spiny, not quite lumpy yet, so it's just got little spikes, little spiky jewel box. Very cool. Now, I wanted to talk just a little bit about why I wanted to come to Captiva. I wanted to come to Captiva because I really felt like Sanibel was just going to be really, really, really crowded. So I wanted to go to Captiva. Captiva only has 2 places you can park. So I parked at the first place, wasn't able to stay there, or I decided not to stay there, really, and then moved over to Turner. And once you walk away from the entrances, for the most part, you're really going to have the beach to yourself. So that was one of the reasons I really chose to come to Captiva. I was kind of hoping that I wouldn't be, battling the other shellers for the shells, because it is kind of a competitive sport. So that is another corrugate jewel box. So all these things are on the beach for anybody to come and find. So I tend to just try to shell by myself. I don't want to be taking other people's shells or even worrying about it. So that is another really fantastic kitten paw. Looks like a mini lion's paw, but just a kitten paw. And that is a chestnut turban that I'm used to seeing those colors. Kind of like the browns and the tans. Real pretty beaded shell. It is a little broken, but that's okay. Real pretty chestnut turban. Ooh, a flat. Yes. Okay. Very, very cool. And it's whole. Real happy with that. The collar's okay, but it's intact. So I'm pretty happy to get rid of that piece of kitten paw. Pretty happy with that flat scallop. Awesome. Another one. Well, it is another one, but it's not quite as intact. That's okay though. Still a decent find. So I'm going to hold on to that anyway, even though it's missing a couple little pieces. And then we'll just show you a little calico clam on the right and the spiny jewel box on the left. Nice contrasting shells, the smooth with the spiky. And this is a very common shell, but I just happen to really like it. This is a cut ribbed arc. And I don't know what it is about these arcs. I just think they're so beautiful with their very strong ribs that they have on it. I just think it's a real pretty shell. So that is very common, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it anyway. That is a cut ribbed arc. Oh, 2 more real pretty white shells. We're probably looking at a bay scallop and a calico scallop, I think. I honestly, once they get a little bit bigger, it's kind of hard to tell them apart. So it is a really lovely day. I know the hunt is really the big part of the fun of collecting shells, is getting out there and seeing what you can really find. So the hunt is a lot of fun. And so even though I'm not finding, terrific shells every 2 seconds, I'm still having a really great time. It's beautiful. Practically have the place by myself. I'm finding some goodies. So I am having myself a delightful morning, and thank you for coming along with me and enjoying Captiva for a little beach walk. All right, managed to score another chestnut turban. Awesome. Not broken, real pretty colors. Very happy with that find. Another flat. Well, it is a flat. It's got some beach stuff on it. It's okay. I mean, still going to keep it. That's a relatively okay flat. I found a second one. So after the first one, I realized that it's possible, and I did see that bright orange flash in the water, and I suspected this time that it was a turban. So it didn't get as much of the shock factor as I did with that first one, but still scratching my head. All right, never seen one this color, and today I found 2. Okay, who am I to question these gorgeous colored shells? Another nice hunk of coral. Oh, that's so pretty. It's kind of, I don't know what, I mean, the shells are from dead animals, and that is also from a dead animal. Coral is an animal. Go figure. We collect dead things. And that is a spiny jewel box with a hole drilled in it, which was kind of unusual. I don't know that I have ever seen a spiny jewel box with a hole drilled in it. A piece of variable worm shell. So that's from a whole little weird colony of worms that tend to live on the sea floor. One of these days, perhaps I'll get to see that, but for now, we'll just enjoy this little hunk that kind of broke off. An apple murex. Okay, not the most pristine one I've ever found, but still happy to see one of these guys. All right, an apple murex. And this weird lumpy thing. All right, I think underneath all that, we're looking at a lion's paw, a kitten's paw rather. And then, I don't know, maybe there's like algae and it just kind of I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I like weird things. And that is a lightning whelk. Not too weird. Just kind of your regular run-of-the-mill lightning whelk. So it was looking, I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure we were going to find stuff, and I'm not going to complain. I think we're doing okay. Tide is still coming in. It warmed up a little bit. It is 72. And a red-brown arc has been found. This is only the second one I've ever found. And it's nothing particularly special about it. I just don't usually see these. And it did remind me of the mossy arc. So that is a red-brown arc. And a piece of sea glass, which very rare. Yes, I find glass, but it's not really. We don't have the rough surf that the East Coast has. So it's a little bit harder to find glass that's actually kind of beach worn. Yay, a piece of sea glass. So there's, typically I get real nervous if I see a beach like this, but that just means you need to hunt a little bit harder. So what here, okay, looks a lot like what we saw previously. What do we got here? Okay, that is your cross-barred Venus. And your kitten paws. I figure while I'm here, we'll go ahead and pick up a couple. Why not? Scanning just to see. A little auger. All right, cool. And tiny shelling actually can be really fun. Typically, I do go for the larger shells, but I think as the summer comes and the shells start to hide a little bit, we're going to start looking at the real tiny stuff. Look at this little tiny shell. So that's just a top snail. And that is just a little baby top snail shell. Very cool. And this rubbery looking thing, that is actually a part of a moon snail egg collar. So there's little baby moon snail eggs in there mixed in with sand and like a gelatin type substance that the mommy moon snail creates. And then the collar will disintegrate when the eggs hatch. So what's left right there is probably hundreds of baby little moon snails waiting to be born. Yay. All right. Now, this is a chestnut turban with a bunch of those kitten paws attached. So the kitten paws actually do produce a very powerful marine type glue. Barnacles do the same thing. And so kitten paws will typically attach themselves to rocks, sometimes other shells, but I'm not interested in the kitten paws. One of them was attached. I just wanted the turban. So I just kind of popped them off so I can hold on to this kind of beat up, crusty chestnut turban. That's a broad-ribbed cardita with some fun color on there and another little calico scallop. I figure while I'm here, I might as well grab, while the getting's good, okay, a painted egg cockle. Those only get to be about 1 inch, so those are generally going to be on the small side anyway. A fun kind of shell. Anything else fun? Oh, a tiny little. So we're kind of doing tiny shelling. So that is another little chestnut turban. And I was looking for the chestnut turban operculums, but alas, I did not find any. Now this is a hinged kitten paw. So I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that. And look, the other kitten paw had glued itself to that. Just kitten paw heaven, I guess. And speaking of which, yep, it is still lots of those kitten paws. Another littler beach stuff. We got a little, that is a juvenile fighting conch. Those are definitely eluding anything really on the larger side. Not really to be found today. And that's all right. Makes the hunt a little bit more fun. And that slippery little thing, that is a spiny jewel box. It did indeed have a couple little spines and just a half of a coquina. So there are things here. Yes, it's not like after a hurricane or a storm. So just be a little more diligent. There we go. There's our fighting conch. Even those were hiding today. Oh, nice little stromboid notch on that. So that is a Florida fighting conch. Only one I saw today. Gonna go ahead and keep that. Very cool. Yet another one of those giant bittersweet clams. I don't know why. Why was I finding them today? I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. A little horse conch. There we go. Nice little orange. Not quite as orange as those chestnut turbans, but real pretty nonetheless. And another, of course it's tiny little horse conch. And it just blows my mind. So that, in theory, if it had been alive and was able to, could grow to over 2 feet big. Just crazy. And then back to back, I did find a couple of lovely scallops that I couldn't resist. That calico, this calico, because they're just kind of pretty, as well as this one. So found a couple of back-to-back scallops. Not going to spend too much time on them. Just kind of admire them quickly. So now I'm approaching the entrance. It's about time to leave. Okay, about 72. It really was a perfect day to be out there. And look at this. So that is a piece of a frond oyster. Very cool. And they have these like finger-like projections, and they typically hold onto the branches of soft coral. So something kind of pushed that loose. Whoa! All right, that is another one of those giant bittersweet clams. I am really happy to see those. Didn't even have to go to the East Coast to find them. And another chestnut turban. Very, very cool. So there definitely was goodies if you really, really hunted for them. And as you can see, more people means I'm coming back to the entrance. And then before we leave, I just wanted to say hi to some dolphins that were way out in the distance. I did have the opportunity to see a mommy and her baby dolphin last weekend. I wasn't recording. Oh, it was so cute. So that's it. People are out. Time for me to scurry. I've had a lovely morning on the beach, and now I get to drive home. And that was the other piece that I really kind of love. Even when I'm leaving the beach, I get to see other people being out in the water, enjoying themselves. Maybe there's people here on vacation. I'm just always happy to see people out and about enjoying this gorgeous area. I am so very lucky to live here. So not too bad, right? I mean, considering it didn't look like all that much, did manage to get a bunch of nice coral, some of those spiny jewel boxes, my cut-ribbed arc, bunch of those calico clams, the buttercup lucine, bunch of scallops, all sorts of pretty colored scallops, including those orange ones, the kitten paws, the sereths, the augers, the red-brown arc, the broad-ribbed cardita, that frond oyster, which is cool, one apple murex, couple of Florida fighting conchs, a couple of the lady-in-waiting Venus clams, and then my favorites are kind of here, those bittersweet clams, I couldn't believe those, the flats, which are really cool, those really orange turbans, and then the piece of Genonia. Just a piece, but one of these days, I hopefully will find a whole one. Patreons, thank you. Thank you so very much for your generosity and your support. I truly, truly appreciate you. And everybody else who comes along with me on my walks, thank you so very much. I have a fantastic journey that we're going to go on next week. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's going to be super fun. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you again next Sunday.